So you're considering a learning escape room. Do you DIY, bring in help for part of the process, or partner with a design team from start to finish? If you're an educator who wants students to practice real competencies, this video will help you figure out which path is right for you. And it's actually not a question of if you know enough to create an escape room. Designing an experiential learning escape room is absolutely a learnable skill. The real decision comes down to 3 factors: time versus funding, project complexity, and your interest or capacity in learning about escape room design and figuring out how to pull it all together. You do not need expensive tech, a degree in instructional design, or a game design background in order to create an educational escape room. But you do need to be realistic about what it'll cost in terms of time and effort. If you have more time than funding right now, a sabbatical, a waiting period in your research cycle, a lighter course load, DIY can be a great option. And you can learn what you need to. There are resources online, we've got some free ones, and there's a lot of research on experiential learning, student engagement, gameful learning, and escape rooms in education. The key thing I recommend is aiming to make the puzzles the learning. So the students learn by doing, and that action that they take is what allows them to move forward in the escape room. Your design process will probably be iterative, and it can be helpful to start small to keep things manageable. And you don't need a lot of fancy tech. We built a demo escape room in Google Docs that was playable either in the live doc or as a downloaded PDF with internal clickable links. You could build it in your existing LMS or run it entirely through email. You could do it verbally with no props, no written anything in class, or do it with physical props or paper, that sort of thing. Take the pressure off yourself to build something polished or comprehensive on the first pass. Keep the learning purpose at the center and give yourself time to iterate. And before you build anything, whether it's DIY or you bring in help, it's worthwhile to evaluate if your idea is rigorous, relevant, and worth class time. In the description below, there's an escape room idea check that will help you figure this out. DIY works best when you have more time than money, the project is manageable, and you have an interest in learning about escape room design. But there's a version of this that's neither fully DIY nor hiring a comprehensive design team, and it can be a great balance of the two. The middle option involves doing most of the design work yourself and bringing in a specialist to help with specific elements. This could be something you don't have time or interest in learning, or something that requires a specific skill set. It could be a workshop or bringing in a consultant to help fast-track your learning process. If you have some funding, a discretionary budget, a teaching and learning center partnership, institutional funding, you can split the work strategically. Perhaps you could share funds with an internal course development team. Your content expertise, plus an instructional designer's knowledge of assessment strategy and learner engagement, creates a strong foundation. And then together, you can learn the experiential learning escape room design layer. Or you might bring in outside help for a specific element, a story writer for narrative design, a puzzle designer or someone who specializes in experiential learning, an illustrator for custom illustrations, or a builder who knows the specific platform that you're looking to use. Targeted help makes sense when you have some funding, a piece or two of a project that's outside your wheelhouse, and you're still interested in being close to the design, just maybe not doing everything yourself. There's a third option. When you have more funding than time, the project is complex, or you don't have the capacity or interest in becoming an escape room design expert, a full design partnership becomes a smarter investment. In this scenario, whether you work with us at Pumpkinberry or somebody else, you bring the subject matter expertise, and the design team brings the expertise in translating your learning purpose into hands-on experiential learning activities, so that students are practicing real competencies rather than just looking for codes or moving through content. This usually involves expertise in narrative design, structure of experiences, learner engagement, facilitation, illustration, and technical build. And your involvement can vary widely. We worked with one faculty member who had time for the all-important purpose-setting conversations and to figure out the relevant pieces of their course for translation or adaptation into the escape room, but didn't have time for the details or to dig into specific content nuances. And so the design team took the course content, did additional research, and designed puzzles and narrative and structures that we then brought back a couple times to the instructor for feedback as we were building the pilot. Another faculty member had time and interest to get into the specifics, everything from narrative choices to the contextualization of very specific pieces of content knowledge and their related competencies, to visual choices for illustration. And the collaboration was much deeper, with more back and forth about content knowledge and teaching philosophy. But both of these options lead to an academically credible, experiential learning escape room that's relevant and measurable. A design team makes sense when you have more funding than time, the project is complex, or you don't have the interest or capacity to dig into the design yourself. You want to be the subject matter expert and work with a partner who brings expertise in this particular learning format. All three options, DIY, targeted collaboration, and a full design partnership, can get you to an experiential learning escape room that's engaging, relevant, and measurable. And all of them start with the learning purpose. If you've got an idea that you've been considering, grab the escape room design check and make sure that it's rigorous, relevant, and worth course time before you put any effort into building or pitching it. And if you're wondering what it would actually look like to collaborate with the design team, check out this next video.